Good evening. Good evening. Kukrudu. Kukrudu. Yes, we want to feel the spirit in here tonight. Your Excellency, President Kufuor, our flag bearer, Nana Akufo-Addo, and our chairman, Jake Obeche-Bilamte, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is always notably worthy and the most honorable thing to do to celebrate success and inspirational leadership. So for me, it is with pride and humility that I stand here on behalf of our great party, the NPP, and indeed many other Ghanaians, to acknowledge a true leader, one who has changed the course of our nation. But as we sit in muted excitement and waiting for what I suspect will be a very illuminating lecture, let us take a little trip back and let me refresh you and our memories with only a few of the many achievements and the progress that our speaker tonight brought to Ghana. Take your minds back to 2001, and we had just got a new president. At that time, the mood in Ghana was one of desperation, and many things were far from right. But there was also the buzz of excitement that desired change brings. His still coolness and deep searching stare, however, did not overshadow his first dramatic decision to declare this country epic. He did not understand the decision, nor were comfortable with it. But more intriguing was the prelude of what was to come and change the course of this country in a very compelling way. President Kufuor, because of your leadership, many Ghanaians were able to hope and start saving their savings, their money, because of a stable macroeconomic environment and an economy that grew 6 times during your tenure. Many were able to travel more safely and comfortably as our road network increased by over 80% in 8 years. And of course, not to mention the Metro Mass Transit Program, the Kufuor buses. Today, we are able to air our views on TV and radio because you believe that freedom of the press is essential to democratic growth. Many were able to go about their daily business because they saw an environment of peace, stability, and tolerance. We saw an increase in public salaries by an average of over 100% a year in your 8 years. Remarkable. Our youth were given hope because of the National Youth Employment Program and are deprived, especially the aged, benefited from the Livelihood Empowerment Against Poverty Program, LEAP. We saw our cocoa production double because of subsidies on fertilizer and the mass spraying program. And many of our farmers in the rural areas happily benefited from the MCA program because some of their infrastructure needs, such as pack houses, simple processing homes, some farmers were taken care of. Today, many have access to medical care because of the NHIS. And all pregnant women were given free maternal health care then. And indeed, many are able to go to school today because of the massive improvement and expansion in the quality and affordability of education, leading to increased enrollment in basic education and the school feeding program, of which 500,000 benefit. Many in the Ghanaians in the diaspora were comfortable to send money home because they were confident their country was on the move and our international reputation was riding high. Our national pride increased. You could see it in our football and our indigenous clothes, especially on Fridays. Redenomination of the cedi, our debut sovereign bond, e-switch, pensions reforms, name it. We take it for granted, but we are here today because of many things he did. It is said that life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage, and that everybody journeys through character as well as through time. The person one becomes depends on the person one has been. And today, you stand tall with great pride as a leading African statesman and still bringing relief to many impoverished and desperate people on the continent. As one great philosopher said, success is never final and failure is never total. But courage, heart, and wisdom will always prevail. President John Agyekum Kufuor, Jack, as we affectionately call you, or K4, this is your life. We salute you.
And he's also called the Gentle Giant. Madam Chairperson, Madam Buzia, please do us the honor and introduce our speaker for this evening.
The man to deliver this second Liberty Lecture this evening is a very fine international statesman, respected as much for his achievements as his demeanor. President Kufuor undoubtedly is one of the greatest statesmen of our country and the African continent at large. He is married with 5 children and a member of Catholic Church. I have had the enviable privilege of having known him for more than 40 years. Not just him, but his family as well. He was educated at Osei Tutu Boarding School and Prempeh College in Kumasi. He was subsequently called to the bar at Lincoln's Inn, London, from 1959 to 1961, and obtained an honors degree in philosophy, politics, economics from Exeter College, University of Oxford, from 1961 to 1964. He was recorded of having served in 3 out of 4 republics that Ghana has had. He was twice elected Member of Parliament, 1969 to 1972. And 1979 to 1981. He served as a young Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, representing Ghana's delegation to the United Nations, UN, under Buzia's government, my brother's Progress Party government. If I may stress, was noted for being dominated by young, brilliant, and competent persons, and I mean competent. He was also one time a secretary for local government and chief legal officer and city manager of Kumasi, the second largest city in Ghana. After 3 decades in politics, he rose to the presidency. Should serve as a source of, he rise to presidency, should serve as a source of inspiration to many who have endured the long, committed journey of national service, such as Nana Akufo-Addo. The man I'm introducing first contested for the position to lead his party, the New Patriotic Party, NPP, in 1992, but lost. He did not lose hope. He contested again in 1996 and won. However, lost the presidential election. He got up, dusted himself down, and contested again for his party's presidential candidate and won again, leading a united NPP to the 2000 general election. This time, however, he contested the vice president of the man he lost to in the 1996 election, if that means anything. The good news is that he won a resounding victory on his second time of trying. Does it not sound familiar, Nana Akufo-Addo, doesn't it? And Nana Gode. Our guest speaker charged the cause of prosperity, growth, and positive change over a period of 8 years, after which he handed over peacefully on 7th January 2009. So after all, there was a peace in Ghana already. To Professor J.E.A. Mills, may the good Lord bless his soul. Since then, Ghanaians have grown to appreciate the significant gains that were made under 8 years of the NPP. We have two very talented young men that I want to invite to lead His Excellency to the podium. They are Nyansa Kobia and Nana Nto-Kwapon, to usher onto the podium as speaker for the evening, His Excellency John Adjokun Kofo.
Ago, ago, ago. Mpenying ni mebung, mpenying pa, mukureti pa, esondai pa. Ni mebung ni onyamfuya, mukura omen yi dache franka, ni etifi, anafo, epuye ni atoi. Yamamu nyina transi sang mama kwaba. Danquah buzia dombo ne osunu kokroko a sebe mpenga duasa woni na achi mmoro hwasu ahempong ne abrempong ne ahini titi ampong ne ayirifi ampong ne kwakwadi brampong a mutwem komo ba bi madomhia mu gwangde wo honsa ntrang beka mfo mu wafimu ma kitriki ni akatraka ne mpitri pini mpatra pani nkikire de ni nkokro do ne kwankwa nchire bidi ni chire bidi ama ni chire bidi abrampong ne apankrampankrang ne aprangeseku ne apanka branka jinyirara de wo honsa ntrang bo wo mu ase yema mu nyirara trase san mama kwa abasronko empanyin se sabe mpanga duasa benusa emia na bio obu enso do obuso ya na eye obutantim eyinti nana nyansa bu yakwa oberma katachi akoku ya mpanyin nsam aworo nsam ye nsam kansam ma brempong ne ahempong nyina de wo ho santran pincha beti ebi nana kaso kasa 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 kasa
I heard their wailings, first as rumor. I heard them far, far away. In the course of my countless wandering, from land to land, continent to continent, region to region, village to village, seeking unity, but finding none. Yes, Odoman Kumabadie, Oborobadie, Obo Sikampuano. We are saying fin, or my Sikajita Ayama, or my Ghana. Kwesikoko Obeka say, Sikampuano, Obeka say, Gold Coast. Kwesikoko any brisika papa, Mamin Sisudiana Menka, Kwesikoko any brisika. I remember they stood for our lands. Yes, they stood. The day was 4th. The month was August. And the year was 1897. Yes, I remember. Our fathers, toil in pain, fought them for our lands. Yes, they fought for it. I today, as we stand, the same day, 4th, 50 years after the birth of the first political party, United Gold Coast Convention. I remember the day was 4th. Yes, it was 4th. The month was August, but the year was 1947. Yes. I feel their presence in our midst. I feel their presence. There he sits, the great one. I see the man. Who is the man? The great one who fought for independence. Yes, I see them. I will not forget the big six. Yes. Osajefo Kwame Nkrumah. Yes, he is here with us. Akwaje is here with us. You can see, but I can see. Pargrant, the financier, he is here with us. Let me call on William Mufoliata, he is here with us. Edward Akufo-Addo is here with us. Aku Ejei is here with us. Obeche Bilamte is here with us. Let us rise, rise, rise. As I see them, let's rise and pay a silent tribute to them. Mama yema wondem rifa edikanfo ayebi. Yema wondem rifa edikanfo ayebi.
Ago bio impanyin se okuchiri twi mantamboafo sasahyeahyeanhye wawura nsaso no awura kokura awura senware awura nanse dokuno de nkwato ne nsem aboro pentempre mado asuko akofa nkunim abotira abofie no so wore cha abaso bokronkron aduan a sabio wo nkwati na asanka na sane asabe saduam nkanfo fato betwani na so torrent atoyaso enso fato yufo no sara na dimpa na mfoyaso enso fato panyimpa otu anamompa dua bapa manen hwesopa me ho ba mfaso para nen eyinti empanyimpa sabe mpan aduasa munim empun to safe da bewo mo ya mode mo nkwa ato mo nsam abaku age Ghana man asi ho ma atifi anafo apue ni ato nyinara afra yen adeseman sabri si ehiem wa ade a ene na Ghana adesema wonsum obi na obi ne anya kwa afra kotoko ma waso tudu ewuru atroja frama epra dare ni akonten na nanu ma wodi akontone ni awo nyinara no be America ne se ye mamomo piafo mamomo ekuronto mamomo ahenewa san mamomo abrao
mpani bɛka mpani nsɛm ɛmɔfra bɛtoa na nsesɛm tete wo bi ka Dr. Ni Joseph Kwame Boakye Danquah Openi Buzia ene tete ye kai tete ye kai ni sei ni edikanfo ye kompre Ghana manfa ahudie ye da wanse amampanimfo ye be yibiakọ ye da mo ase menim hwe kra no na nim se ye de anamo ne tutu firi sirim eba mpoano bepenchene ko sirim nenso ene asase a aya kwawie no adane kwantempon mayibi edikanfo mayibi ye ka omampanimfo inshrakese enkamo ansa na mede mano besie no me remfida Danquah Buzia Dombo tradition. I say and I repeat, Danquah Buzia Dombo tradition with boldness. Amamre yentonchene. See yentonchene dia. The tradition must continue. The tradition must continue.
Owam kesibreku berima ote kokoso nana de se kronkron kofi di ewo ajekum fre bi ajemanga okoforo fa ye hu osia osi nonsoro so ohuru wa osi feri merima tifi hwire ne mo pampan hwire ne a okonsu a osi suburani apraka agropem ode njenini a ode di muruma otire kukuba nwosoro ona ode nsansa kwa mu na ode bua ba fie ebise ne nsu a amansa wananko antum panyin so dia na bo ma kusi na ote do ma edi nkra kwajo na okọ ja amanko ono de so ntere so ko no masuo komo due ja ponchire ne agije nsu amansu agoru aje nkokọ bo abise dua na watutu je agu ama atwea enya dabere ne eso bin eja kakari poti na nani o onwanwase ni ampre mu kotoko da amre kwado so brofre onamo biribi namo obrimpong bi namo onamo berima namo onamo biribi namo owam kase breku bi namo obrimpong bi namo biribi namo ono no fia moakotoku kotoku ochirechem onamu oberima nam eje kumfre bi aje mankofro bo namu akora brew gomu nantew brebre na yo brempon gomu tutu waka na nanko etwa asuo nanko etwa kwansanten unye bonti ankoma unye da ase ankoma unye mprempren yadom unye akomfo yonko unye kremoti pen odi akumasima waja amene urutian warotwa ukwatina wayira oseng na ase a wabo so dua na abọ ma kosi na na ote do mani o edi nkra kwajo na okọ ja manko edi de suntre so akonumesu komo berima kasa na sunakura na sunapotokura na sunakura pa na sunakura kronkron ebiri ya kwa brofre ebiri ya kakapepe ebiri modum ebiri osese na wo yodi osese awose berima wananko antum panyin so kasa kronkron no maniti
Madam Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ghanaians, I want to start by expressing my sincere appreciation to the Danquah Institute for the kind invitation to speak at this year's Liberty Lecture, which commemorates the significance of August 4th to our nation's history. The inaugural Liberty Lecture was delivered by the 2012 presidential candidate of the new Patriotic Party, Nana Addo Danquah Akufo-Addo. This year's lecture has been delayed until after the August 4th date, of course by momentous events: the death in office of the President of the Republic. May the soul of John Evans Atta Mills rest in perfect peace. In these past 4 weeks, we have witnessed a nation coming together to pay respects not just to the man, but to the office of the presidency and the importance of that office in our democracy. That expression of unity in support of democracy is commendable, and it speaks directly to what I want to address today in this speech on development in freedom and how we must empower the people to develop the nation. This topic, as you know, is the new Patriotic Party's motto, which it has inherited from its traditions' founding fathers, who enunciated it from as far back as 1947 at the launch of the United Gold Coast Convention, the first political party of our nation in the historic town of Sorpon in the central region of today. Perhaps a brief historical sketch will establish clearly the driving vision with which the founding fathers not only laid the lineage of our party, but also of the virtual foundations of the modern independent state of Ghana. On the 4th of August 1947, a new era in the Gold Coast began. In Sorpon, paramount chiefs, clergymen, lawyers, entrepreneurs, teachers, traders, and men and women from all walks of life in the Gold Coast gathered to inaugurate the United Gold Coast Convention, the first truly nationalist party of our country. Our forefathers joined together to lay the groundwork for a free and brighter future for their children, and to bring about an independent and developed country free from foreign domination, internal oppression, and bad governance. There, the man described as the doyen of Ghana politics, Dr. Joseph Boachi Danquah, in seconding the motion to launch the party, stated, and I quote him, "We have come to take a decision whether our country and people are any longer to tolerate a system of government under which those who are in control of government are not under the control of those who are governed." End of quote. He strongly exhorted the Assembly of Chiefs and People in these terms, and I quote him again: "We must have here and now, if we are to be well governed, a new kind of freedom, a Gold Coast freedom, a Gold Coast liberty." End of quote. Then, in an implied rejection of the foreign-imposed name of Gold Coast on our country, he traced the historical and direct migration of our ancestors from the ancient Ghana Empire some 900 years earlier to our current homeland. that migration was in order to preserve their liberties from the Arab onslaught from Northern Africa. Likewise, he urged the chiefs and people gathered in Sulpon to reject British colonialism for its insecurity, injustice, and exploitation. 3 years after the launch, Danquah further defined the abiding philosophy of the tradition to which we belong. As, and I quote him again, our duty is to liberate the energies of the people for the growth of a property-owning democracy in this land, with the right to life and freedom and justice as the principles to which the government and laws of the land should be dedicated to, in order to specifically enrich the lives, property, and liberty of each and every citizen. End of quote. The Danquah Dombo Buzia political tradition was thus born. We have been consistent and principled in what we stand for: multi-party democracy, democratic accountability, and respect for human rights, individual rights, and free enterprise. Development in freedom is how we term the preferred way of moving Ghana forward. Alas for Ghana, power eluded the tradition till 1969, when the Buzia regime had a brief stint of only 27 months of power to showcase the efficacy of democratic governance as compared with the unaccountable and high-handed radicalism that subjugated the nation for more than 30 years of its independent existence to date. After years of military interventions and national trauma, political upheavals and economic stagnation, the tradition was rewarded when the Fourth Republican Constitution enshrined what it stood for and struggled for all the years to bring about in Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, the topic of this lecture, Development in Freedom, Empowering the People to Develop the Nation, captures the NPP's preferred path to success. Nations are not built on their natural resources, however valuable they are. Nations are built by people and the freedom and opportunities that those people have to express themselves responsibly, creatively, entrepreneurially, socially, and politically. People create societies by joining together and working for the common good with the help of democratic institutions that support their rights and freedoms. It is the welfare and well-being of the people of Ghana that should drive the vision, program, and policies of government. There are some that have argued that command economy is the shortcut to development, and which must therefore be foisted on the people, and that personal freedoms and collective liberties can be sacrificed in the process. Ghana's history has been full of such adventurers and theorists who only managed to divide the people and stagnate the economy. retard the social development process, and destroy whatever safety nets existed for the disadvantaged of society. We hope the lesson has now been learned, that never again should we allow our freedom to be sacrificed. We must insist on responsible governance that protects our individual as well as collective liberties, our opportunities, and work to bring prosperity. The truism of the foregoing is captured on the currently broadly touted pragmatic idea of public-private partnership, PPP, as the best way to develop the society. I believe this is the kernel of the vision so eloquently stated by the late J.B. Danquah in 1950. This truism pervades globally now, as even the formidable People's Republic of China, the once citadel of communism, shows by its adoption of liberal market economic principles. Similarly, the United States of America, the bastion of capitalism, evinces this maxim in its adoption of the stimulus package to shore up the failing financial sector since 2008. The point is, it is easier to grow economies under a system of government that is democratically accountable and acknowledges humanity, and which enshrines the authority of the people to make and unmake governments regularly under the rule of law. Ladies and gentlemen, the citizenry can exercise their sovereignty responsibly only with due preparation for wise assessments. This is how to pick their representatives and make them accountable. This is the substance of empowering the people to help build a transformational nation. The Busia administration, our tradition's first opportunity to govern the country in the Second Republic, beginning in 1969, had demonstrated what the NPP believes in and what we set out to do for the people whenever we are given the opportunity to serve. Professor Busia, my mentor, committed his government to providing jobs, security, a decent home, and a basic standard of living for every Ghanaian. The essentials of freedom of speech and expression, equal opportunity and social justice, of movement and association, and of worship were heralded in the Second Republic. In his inaugural address in 1969, long before such ideas were popular around our continent, Busia said, and I quote him, "We think the yardstick by which our success or failure should be judged must be the condition of the human being himself. We must judge our progress by the quality of the individual, by his knowledge, his skills, his behavior as a member of society, the standards of living he is able to enjoy, and by the degree of cooperation, harmony, and brotherliness in our community life as a nation. Our goal is to enable every man and woman in our country to live a life of dignity in freedom." End of quote. Since the restoration of constitutional rule with the 1992 elections, a democratic and resource-rich Ghana has made a lot of progress. The world has recognized our efforts, and Ghana has won a lot of accolades, and we should all be proud of what we have achieved these past 20 years. All of us now accept that political power is changed through elections. Our parties recognize election results and concede power when they lose. Key reforms have been delivered and sustained because of those changes in power and leadership. Unfortunately, the expected drive to economic liftoff on the solid platform that had been built by the end of the year 2008 has not happened. It is that drive that Ghana is crying for now. The people across the nation are desperate to feel the practical effects of the statistically touted improvement in the economy. Last year, our nation recorded economic growth of 14%, and yet in the reality of our individual economies, it has been a damp squib. If ever there has been a vivid example of squandered opportunities, this has been it. We ought to be able to translate the many undoubted opportunities of burgeoning natural resources such as oil, gas, cocoa, minerals, and international goodwill into improving upon the quality of life of our people. But this is not happening now. The cause can only be poor leadership, lacking the acumen, focus, discipline, and dexterity to husband the natural and human resources for the needed success. We need transformational leadership that can deliver. Unity is essential for our development, but unity cannot be achieved by force or at the expense of freedom or by propaganda. Invariably, such arrangements turn out to be non-sustainable and crumble at the least sign of pressure. The component parts of the whole should be fair shareholders and must feel they have a stake in the success of the nation. That is the view of the Danquah Dombo Buzia people. Ladies and gentlemen, Ghanaians are united in their quest for greater opportunities, peace, liberty, and prosperity. Fair competition between political parties is about the best way to achieve these goals. The most responsible way to use our national resources, and which leader and party have the most credible proposition to move Ghana forward together. The evidence shows that leadership has by and large come from the new Patriotic Party and its antecedent parties, the Progress Party, the United Party, and the UJCC. In Ghana's 55 years of independence, our political tradition has had just 10.5 years in office. The NDC has had 12 years, and CPP/PNP has had about 11 years, with the military having had 21 years, even though some would say that 11 years of the PNDC/military should be added to the NDC years. It is during the periods of our governments, the Progress Party and the New Patriotic Party, that the nation had some of the strongest periods of growth. And advancement in our history. In Ghana's history, the most progressive social welfare programs in health and education had been brought about by our side of the divide. And it was during our time that the private sector was given any hope for a golden age. I believe at this stage another opportunity beckons. The NPP stands ready to act and to deliver freedom, development, and opportunities for prosperity for every Ghanaian. The NPP views civil liberties and human rights as fundamental to economic growth and intrinsic to the objective of development. We believe in empowering the individual to use his or her own initiative to create enterprise and legitimate wealth, and to enjoy security of person and private property. We believe we can use freedom and opportunities as tools to promote the welfare and well-being of everyone in our society. That is why the party chose as its motto, development in freedom. We believe that political, economic, and social freedoms are absolutely essential and interwoven. People are not free or at peace if they are hungry, illiterate, ignorant, unhealthy, homeless, and in squalor. That is why my administration focused on investment in human capital and at the same time worked hard to empower the private sector to generate real growth of the economy. In January 2001, when I was sworn into office as President of Ghana, the national economy was in a very bad shape. We had to take the very difficult decision to sign up for the Highly Indebted Poor Country initiative. It was not an easy thing to do, but we were guided by long-term considerations and did what we had to do for the good of the country. This led to debt cancellations, increased inflows of domestic and foreign investments, more businesses opened, more banks opened, more Ghanaians gained employment, and the telecom sector boomed. The stronger private sector economy enabled us to launch new social services, including a free and compulsory universal basic education program and the first ever national health insurance scheme. We were able to make large investments in infrastructure, in the energy, transportation, and telecommunications sectors to drive the accelerated growth of the economy. And we achieved all this, ladies and gentlemen, without pumping a drop of oil. We did it all by just sound economic management, which also underpinned the redenomination of the cedi to achieve parity with the United States dollar. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2012 presidential candidate, Nana Addo Danquah Akufo-Addo, is also committed to building a society of opportunities for every Ghanaian through industrializing the economy. I've known him for decades. He served in my government first as Attorney General and as Minister of Foreign Affairs. And come January 7th, 2013, God willing, he will be the next President of the Republic of Ghana. He was the man who was the driving force behind the introduction to Ghana of mobile phones in the early 1990s. The instrument that has been responsible for the biggest socio-economic transformation of our country over the last 2 decades. Last year alone, I understand, through the mobile phone companies, the state raked in as much as $5 billion of revenue. As a corporate lawyer in the early 1990s, he managed to convince a group of foreign investors that Africa, specifically Ghana, was ready to embrace the mobile phone. That is how Millicom, operators of Mobitel, ended up in Ghana. This is transformational leadership. The vision to see where things need to go and the ability to get us there. Into this year's elections, the main challenge facing the nation must be which of the contending leaders with their parties, and I stress with their parties, offers the likeliest efficient and effective government to tackle and overcome the socio-economic problems afflicting the people. Our debates now should be about the quality of our democracy, how to strengthen institutions of governance, how to increase participatory democracy at the grassroots level, and how to ensure we get value for money on negotiations done on behalf of Ghana. Whether it is for loan agreements, public procurements, allocation of oil blocks, building contracts, or the payment of judgment debts. Ladies and gentlemen, I have no doubt that the NPP flag bearer, Nana Addo, is the most rounded and experienced in the field. And also has the tried and tested team of would-be ministers and government officials on his side. Most of them worked with me in government, and I vouch for them. Ladies and gentlemen, some have tried to bastardize the core philosophy of the NPP, building a property-owning democracy. Ladies and gentlemen, I was in China last month, and even in China of today, home ownership is being promoted as more and more Chinese people are being pulled from poverty into the growing middle class. China, since embracing the concept of the market, is proving most efficient and competitive around the world, and has thereby unleashed the energies of her billion people and taken over 500 million people out of poverty. You need to go there and see what's happening there now. There are huge cities that have rapidly been transformed from slums because of the determination and the pragmatism of its government. The concept of a property-owning democracy is not elitist. It is about creating and spreading wealth. It is about expanding and making more and more Ghanaians stakeholders in the wealth of their nation and giving every Ghanaian decent shelter. The new Patriotic Party promotes social mobility. Our belief is that we must give more and more Ghanaians the capacity and opportunities to capitalize on economic opportunities, both in Ghana and abroad. We seek for the greatest well-being for the greatest number of Ghanaians. And this is why we want each and every Ghanaian to have education. And as our candidate has promised, education at least to the senior secondary level or senior high school. So that they can develop their God-given talents and enhance their chances of making a decent living. When more people have access to jobs, they generate income, and then more people can spend and more taxes can be earned, and governments can spend more in building infrastructure, providing social services, and improving our security and standard of living. That is what the new Patriotic Party is all about. We put people in the center of our development, in both our thinking and our deeds. When the individual is the primary focus of the leadership, then society will progress. Saying this does not mean the party abandons its sense of social responsibility. No. The party strongly opposes the concept of the safety net for the disadvantaged. There is no doubt that the NPP has the most formidable program for moving Ghana forward. This year's election is the verdict of Ghanaians on the last 4 years, the performance of the current government. It is a referendum on the future of this country. It is about the future of all Ghanaians. It is about which of the candidates has the best team with capacity, vision, programs, competence, and commitment to deliver for our nation and for all of us as individuals. Let the nation look at the records of NPP as against the other parties. Let the nation look at what has been achieved in the past. And let the nation also look at the many promises, most of which are unfulfilled, especially in current times. Let us look at the leadership profiles and look at the value of the city and the cost of living of our people, and then please let's vote wisely. In the 2000 election, the slogan of the NPP was "Shewa Sitinemu, Natu Abapa." I believe that it was relevant then, and it is still relevant today. Let me end by appealing to all Ghanaians to revisit the conditions of life today, to decide on their vote for this year's elections. May God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you.